Hello, if it's Thursday, then I must be in Munich on my way to the Emirates. Big game, another semi-final of course. Atletico Madrid go to London with the intention of improving the form of the last few games. Yet they have not scored in two, and they hope that the effect that the departure of Arsene Wenger doesn't really lift Arsenal high enough to actually surprise them. Atletico Madrid are reaching this stage of the competition as favourites, I would say. Favourites because they have been in this competition, they played it before, they won it as well, and they have the kind of team that is mature enough to understand that, of course, it's a two-leg affair. They will make not many mistakes. Quite clearly, the form of Costa has been an issue, but it seems like they won't risk him. He probably will be on the bench. Gameiro and Griezmann will be the two forwards, and when that happens, you don't get the best Atletico Madrid. Costa forces the centre-backs to be stretches them, which gives space for Griezmann. Gameiro can do that if they play not from the back but from the midfield, long balls in behind, if they're able, Atletico Madrid, to recover the ball early. It will be a strong midfield of Thomas and Saul and Koke. Let's see if Correa or Gavi, but if they go for Correa, then I think that's where they can damage Arsenal, because Correa from the right hand side, he's very good on 1v1s, very fast, and will force the fullbacks to actually be very alert. So they've got enough weapons there to actually say that it will be certainly equal. The problem is, as I said, they have not scored in the last two games. They created the chances though, and a lot will depend on Griezmann, especially if Costa is not in the side. Arsenal, on the other hand, they showed against West Ham that they have moments of brilliance. Those moments of brilliance Atletico Madrid don't have. They have a consistent 90 minutes of fighting and fighting and fighting. That's in their DNA after 7 years with Simeone. And Arsenal, though, they have enough quality, more quality, I would say, individually perhaps than Atletico Madrid, with the exception of maybe Costa and Griezmann. Saul is on the verge, the midfielder is on the verge of becoming one of the top midfielders in Europe, I think. Give it a year or so, it will be considered so. But at the moment, he's playing a lot of the time as a holding midfielder, fixing his position when he's very good, I feel, when you let him roam and go box to box. Anyway, he'll be contained from Atletico Madrid, and they'll be patient, and they play the other football, what we call the other football, the wasting time, the fouls, the tactical fouls, and all those things that make Simeone's team so difficult to beat. But I think you may see today as well why Simeone and Arsenal don't fit together. Yes, certainly a competitive guy, certainly makes the teams better, certainly exploits the talent of what he has. But I just feel that it doesn't give the freedom to the players that Arsenal fans are used to. Anyway, he's not in the shortlist. The shortlist is becoming reduced, I'm hearing. There's been a phase where a long list of coaches who they had already information on and had met some of the agents in the previous last 2 months, but could not negotiate because Wenger was still in place. Now they can go to the next phase. And I'm hearing that, I don't know how long the shortlist is. It's a shortlist, but I don't know how long it is. But I know that includes Luis Enrique, also wanted by Chelsea, and with a lot of information about what Chelsea is like, and he will have to take a decision. And Berizzo, the former Sevilla manager, and of course Celta manager, who is very closely linked philosophically in terms of methodology to Bielsa. Now, Arsenal seem to like the idea of somebody who improves players, who tactically is astute, who certainly will want to be protagonist on the pitch and won the ball. A lot of characteristics that Berizzo teams have. It's not one name that many have heard of, maybe, but it's one of the names that they're talking to. Of course, the idea from Arsene Wenger of having one of former player to actually be in Arsenal next season is also being considered. So, still loads to do, I believe, and we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, it was after the excitement of Tuesday. where was such a communion between the fans and the manager and the players, even though it had a mixed feeling at the end after the unfairness of the result on Wednesday, where Real Madrid did not deserve to win, but Real Madrid is Real Madrid, and when that happens, what can you do? I've been asking a lot of coaches and players, former players that were there, and it's like, how do you explain what happened at the Allianz Arena? And they just were like, Real Madrid is Real Madrid, and that's exactly it. Those are the words as well from Roberto Carlos, for instance. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. It's a competitive side. Why? Because they get the best of every available house of every club. Those are the best players, that is winning players. They get into Real Madrid and they feel that they can win a game. All of them can. You don't need Cristiano, you don't need Benzema. They were poor yesterday, but you've got Marco Asensio or Lucas Vázquez or Kroos or Modric. That's what Real Madrid keeps winning, even when they don't deserve it. You can guarantee, by the way, that if Liverpool makes it to the final, so do Real Madrid, the Spanish media will be full of stories of Salah going to Madrid, question mark, because if Salah becomes the star of this last third of the season, including the World Cup, if he does enough to perhaps be the best goal scorer of the World Cup, if he got those kind of credentials, Real Madrid will forget about Hazard and will go for Salah. Now, that still a long way to go to that, but that's how Real Madrid works. So we'll see. If the stories start appearing, I will tell you where they come from, and I will tell you how much truth there is in it. But still, second leg of the semi-finals to go, and a first one in the case of the Europa League. I'll be at the Emirates later, and I believe I'm talking to a massive star of the YouTube world after the game. So keep an eye on that. Cheers, bye.